Hello folks, and welcome back to the channel here. Today is a special edition. We are going to be taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9, specifically as it relates to the IP rating. Samsung claims that these things are IP68 rated. What we're going to do here is put them to test, right? I'm doing this so that you don't have to spend money and figure out or find out the hard way that your Samsung tablet actually was not dust and water resistant. And in order to do that, we will be using the pool today. This pool here is about 5 feet deep. And what we're going to do here is drop these tablets one at a time to see which one survives, if any. So follow me as we go through to this pool here. As I mentioned, we are going to do a proper test. I may not have the MKBHD type of equipment, but what I have here is going to be our timer on the Fold 5, as you see here. As soon as we drop the first one, we will go ahead and start the countdown. All right, we're ready to drop these babies in the pool here, and honestly, I'm really nervous. Very, very, very much nervous. And you know how I feel about my tablets, but I have to do this for you, the viewer. We're gonna start off with, what I typically recommend, which is the quote-unquote regular flagship, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 here. And as soon as I drop it, we are going to hit the timer. And I know not even Jerry Rigged Everything has done this, but I'm doing this for you. Once again, I know I keep saying it. All right, you will see that the tablet is on, and it is exactly the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9. You can see I can swipe up. You can see all my icons there. So we are ready to drop this bad boy here. All right, here we go. And we have the timer there. So I'm gonna drop this, and then we will hit the timer. You can see it's still up, and here we go. Actually, okay, so we have the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 in there. We want to make sure that we go fast so that we could drop the other ones as well. This is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus. I've reviewed this, and many of you actually skipped this time around because Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 comes with the Super or the Dynamic AMOLED display this time around. I completely forgot to turn this one on, but you can see it's on there. So we are going to drop this as well. The timer is already there, and we know that we were about 35 seconds since we dropped the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9. So why don't we go ahead and drop this bad boy here, and it seems to float. The Samsung logo is still there. There we go, and it's gonna land right there next to the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9. This is the last one. This is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, the most expensive one. $1,200 if you want to buy this. Is it 12 or is it yes, I believe $1,200. My unit here is 512 gigs, so roughly $1,300, and that's before tax. Actually, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 and see how they're holding up. You can see that they're flipped. One is facing down, one is facing up. So I'm going to go in there and make sure that I flip all of them so that they are facing up. This one, I am very nervous about dropping it. But for the sake of the video, possibly the sake of going viral, you can see clearly it is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra. And I'm going to drop it. We're going to have the next 30 minutes to wait. And during that time, I will be sharing with you what my experience has been like using these bad boys here. As you know, a ton of upgrades have been added here. So the timer, we are going to check where we are. Let's see if we can get that up. All right. Okay, we are at about 2 minutes, and let's wait to about 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and we're gonna go ahead and drop. As you can see here, come on, was this one on? Yes, it is. This thing is on Samsung Dex. Jeez, I have to cancel all of this. All right, so here we're at about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I have a very hard time letting this one go, I tell you. But if it dies before 30 minutes, Samsung pays for it. Here we go. Woo. Okay. There we go. There you go, folks. This is about, I'm gonna say, $1,300 plus another $999. That's 512 gigs. $1,100. That's $2,400. Plus the 256 gigs on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9, which is roughly $950. So what's the math there? $3,300 roughly. So let's see if any of this stuff survives. Meanwhile, I could go ahead and tell you about this. If you're new to the channel, of course, what we do here is we lean towards value, right? I would typically advise for you to buy something that can last forever and that can provide you the absolute value, which is why I kept telling people to go ahead and go for the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 here. By the way, I will be doing a lot of B-rolls here, simply showing you the fact that I've been using Samsung Galaxy Tab S9, and which is why I still recommend that. But anyway, so my user experience with it has been top notch. Many of the people who are just looking for an entry-level tablet, entry-level flagship tablet that they can use for productivity, they're not looking for something that is, you know, gigantic like the Tab S9 Ultra or something as large as the Tab S9 Plus. Then the Tab S9 will do everything that the 9 Ultra and the 9 Plus can do, except super portable, right? You could drop it in your backpack, be on the go, no issues there. You have access to Samsung DeX. They all are sharing that same Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor by Qualcomm. If you remember, Samsung did the partnership with Qualcomm to work on a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 made specifically for Galaxy, which is what we've seen on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, which is the one that I'm using to shoot right now, and that thing is just top level. I really just want to see how well it will do, how well the IP rating, you know, that Samsung is claiming is that good on their tablet, how well they implemented that on their tablet. So we'll be able to see that here. Anyways, when it comes down to camera, I've talked about this before. This could be to a certain extent subjective, right? Some people like Samsung cameras, some people like, you know, Apple cameras, some people like, you know, Pixel cameras, you know, depending on the type of, you know, what your taste is like. If you're looking for something that's a bit more saturated, you know, the colors are a little bit, you know, are more vibrant, you know, richer, then you may be looking for a Samsung Galaxy device, right? So if that's what you are looking for, and on top of that, you are looking for the best Android flagship tablet you could get your hands on, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 would be the one to go for. That's the one that, you know, ironically actually sits in the middle. You would think that the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus sits in the middle of the Ultra and the 9, which is true, but that's just based off of the shape. But in terms of value, the value proposition by the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, you know, in my humble opinion, is much better than what you get from the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus and the Tab S9 Ultra. Now, let's move on to the Plus. The Plus, of course, so those of you who are content creator, let's say maybe you're going to be shooting videos, editing videos, you know, we all know that GPU performance on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 is actually top notch. I'm talking 30% better than what we've seen on the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 that I have. We're just going to take a quick look here. We got 10 minutes in for the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9. We'll see how long that lasts. But anyways, so to those of you who are content creator, that would be actually the better bet for you. Simply because it's a larger tablet, you get to do a bit more than what you would do in terms of display of the content, right? When you compare that to the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9, the display, you know, is larger. Obviously, you get to see more, and it gets a bit more comfortable, especially if you're picking up the Samsung Galaxy book cover keyboard, right? So you'll be able to edit on there a bit more comfortably than you would on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9. In terms of performance, pretty much the same. One of the main differences, and by the way, I'm not going to highlight every single one, you know, every single difference. I know some people tend to go in the comment section and say, hey, you forgot to highlight this, but I'm not going to highlight every single one. Maybe just the core one would be, you know, the camera that you have on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus. Now you get two lens camera. You got a 13 megapixel, I believe, and an 8 megapixel, 13 megapixel wide and an 8 ultra wide. And that would be the only difference. So if you're looking for something that has that dual camera module, then obviously you would have to go for the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus. Now, talking about Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, that's one that surprisingly I will not recommend to everyone. Especially if you own a Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra. If you own one, then I don't really see a reason for you to move up to the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra. The Tab S9 Ultra is more powerful, right? And plus, of course, the camera is slightly different. You know, the design language is, we're going to say kind of the same, but when you look at them, you can easily tell which one is which. And of course, the S Pen also is slightly faster when we look at the latency on the Tab S9 series. So if you're looking for a Samsung, or if you're looking into purchasing the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, because you're looking for something with a larger, you know, canvas, right? Or you're looking to go for something that has a lot more screen real estate, then the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra would be the one to go for. Otherwise, you know, the Tab S9 Plus, my mistake, Tab S9 Plus and the Tab S9, the regular one, those two are fine just the way they are. We are at about 13 minutes, so about halfway there. We're going to pause the video now, and we'll come back and take another look to see how well these tablets are holding up.
It's rolling.
Oh, Did that one just come on its own? It did. No, don't worry about it.
It just did.
Also, one thing I needed to highlight here really quick before I continue with my experience with using these tablets here is that IP rating typically would be with the assumption that it's fresh water, right? So I know lots of people wonder how, you know, these things would actually act under, let's say, seawater or water with chlorine, like a pool or something. By the way, it's been in there for about, let's see here, 24 minutes. On our timer, we have about 24 minutes and 47 seconds, so we're about 6 minutes in. So anyway, so IP rating would be, you know, tested in fresh water, but it would also be fine even if the water is contaminated by chlorine or contaminated by anything else. As long as it's liquid. Now, don't take this to the bank. I'm just quoting what they say. This is not me saying it. So make sure that you always keep your tablet away from water. Anyway, so we're still waiting here, and the next thing I'm actually going to do here will be to take these tablets one at a time. What I want to do is leave at least one until it goes completely off. I want to see how long it will take for water to actually go in there and destroy the inside of the tablet. So just bear with me. I actually have been talking all this time. I didn't even realize that we actually hit the 30 minutes mark right there. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know, get the Samsung Galaxy Tab S. I want to get the Tab S9 Ultra first because that's the most expensive one, and I want to make sure that that one doesn't get damaged. You know, hopefully it actually withstood the 30 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and start off you can see that the counter is there. And go ahead and bring it up. Thank you. So we see here the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra. This is going to be the moment of truth. I was very nervous dropping this. I don't know what it's going to be like when I turn it on. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of water because you remember these have quad speakers set up, tuned by AKG. So I'm pretty sure water went in, and of course the USB Type-C port for charging, all of that, and the extra mic, possibly through the extra mics also, because remember this year it came out with an extra mic compared to the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8. So I'm going to turn this on, and by the way, you can see that the other two are still in there, and we are about 32. Actually, you know what? I want to go ahead and take out the Tab S9 Plus also, and yeah, you could. Okay. All right. I just want to do both, just to be on the safe side. Just to be on the safe side. Actually, the Tab S9. Okay. The S9 and the S9 Ultra. Which one survived? You guys like when I poemed this? Which one survived? They're both off. Remember, when I dropped them in, they were on. Actually, I take that back. The Ultra. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, crap. I think. Oh, no. Actually, it's still on. So, that's one. We'll go back to it. And the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus. It's still on, too. So, it's been 30 minutes. Now, remember, I said that I want to let one of them actually die. And that's my beloved Samsung Galaxy Tab S9, the regular one. That's still in there. But the good news is IP rating 6.8 is actually legit on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 series so far, 30 minutes. But you know what? Before we let the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 actually completely die, why don't we make sure that it's not dead yet and take it out now? Let's go ahead and take out the Galaxy Tab S9. Thank you. Oh, the baby. Oh, okay. Some stuff happening to it. I'm not sure. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. So, I want to leave this part of the video just uncut so you can kind of see real life what's happening with these tablets here. Remember, this is one of the major selling points that Samsung was using this year, claiming that this is the first generation of tablet. Any type of tablet. What are we talking on? iOS platform, meaning iPads, or are we talking Xiaomi, whatever tablet. This is the very first time that we see IP rating on flagship tablets. Samsung has done it with the Samsung Galaxy Tab S3 Active, I believe, but that one is made specifically for rough terrain, so the expectation is there. But for flagship tablets, there is an assumption that people who like to maybe watch movies on these beautiful displays that Samsung make on these tablets will want to be next to a pool, or maybe if you happen to be outside and it starts raining, that your tablet will survive. You can see it's still there. It's offline, but okay. So far, So far, so good for the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9. And what I want to do is we're going to continue the timer here. Oops. We're going to lap it, and then I'm going to drop it right back to it. There it goes. Oh, hey. All right. Let's see how long it's going to take to die. And let's go back to the S9 Plus. Beautiful dynamic AMOLED display. What does it look like now that it's wet? We'll figure it out. I'm not sure if this thing is just skipping, but just bear with me here as I set it up. It seems to still be working. When I get back in the studio, I'm going to be able to make a more comprehensive take on what my experience has been like using these tablets after they were, you know, they lived underwater for 30 minutes. In the case of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9, more than 30 minutes. We don't know how long it's going to take for that one to die. Ultra seems to be working. We are golden. So far, seems like Samsung is holding its end of the bargain. I was actually hoping that it would survive, but at the same time, I was hoping that it wouldn't, so that we can really go after Samsung. Because as you know, Samsung is generally under such a huge level of scrutiny, you know, competing with something like, you know, the iPads of the world, right? So it's good to see that they've actually implemented something that is super innovative in a way where you can actually use this to tag these tablets, this series of these tablets, as top level tablets. All right, so I think I got excited and I went ahead of myself there. I actually thought nothing happened, but it seems like there's a warning here that popped up a couple times and I ignored. But it would be your typical warning that you get when you get your phone that is not, oh, actually a lot of phones are IP rated nowadays, but when you get a device that is not IP rated, you know, when you drop a device like that in the water, you get that typical type of warning. And I got that same warning here to check the USB Type-C port just to make sure that there's no water. So that's the typical standard warning there. And it reads specifically, moisture has been detected in your charger/USB port. Make sure that it's dry before charging your phone, it says, as opposed to your tablet. But we know what that meant. So I guess it's detected that water is in there. Actually, I'm going to come closer so that you can see it. Let me see it. As you can see that it says the moisture has been detected in your charger USB Type-C port. Make sure that it is dry before charging your phone. And I want to go ahead and check on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get the warning. I'm getting water still coming out of these things. Oh, surprisingly, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9, even after 30 minutes, I have no warning. No warning whatsoever, just messages. I have zero warning, none whatsoever, so good to go.
Rolling.
Rolling?
Yep.
Awesome. So as you know, we went ahead and kept the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 there. It's been about 42 minutes now, and it's still in there. Now, one thing that I want to do is actually maybe put on maybe a video to have it just play while it sits there to just see how long it's going to go. So let me see it. Let me check it out. They didn't need to come out the shots. Thank you. All right. So, so far, it's still good. And what I want to do is just have it play something like a video or a movie or something so that we can see. Well, I'll make sure that I pause this. Where's the pause? Stop. Okay. So we just pause that and we're going to put it back in. Honestly, after an hour, I'm just going to take it out. If it's not dead after an hour, I'm just going to take it out. But, you know, if I do a movie, that might actually kill the battery. So why don't I just do... And we're going to drop it back in. Dropping it back in. Hopefully it goes maybe towards the middle. Oh no, it's coming back. All right. Okay. We're just going to leave it there for now.
Still on.
And we are at about 43 minutes. And now we can go ahead and resume. And let's see. If in the next 17 minutes it's still rolling, then I'm just going to stop it there and call it a day. So we had about 53 minutes, let's say about 54 minutes, and it is still in there. Actually, the screen, it actually went to sleep, so I had to get one of the kids to go in and get it back on the screen here. So we're still rolling, and I'm gonna stop at just about an hour. So if it does double the time that Samsung is claiming it can do, then we could give Samsung all of its praises. All right, folks, we are back now, and the plan was to try to kill the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 to see how long it would last. And I want to go ahead and just stop this test now because we are at about an hour and about a minute. And by the way, this is my Z Fold 5, also with water on it. You know it's also water resistant, so that's also another way to test it out. But anyway, so the tablet is still in there, and you can see it's still on. So I guess to summarize, we were not able to kill the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9, any of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 series tablets, simply because it's actually going beyond the IP68 rating, right? We're supposed to be rated for 30 minutes, up to 30 minutes under 5 feet, and this is actually a little bit over 5 feet, and it actually withstood that without any issues. The only warning that I got was on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, saying that the USB Type-C port, had a little bit of moisture in there, and to advising to go ahead and dry that out. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Plus didn't even say anything. That means it doesn't even sense that there's water in there, at least so far. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 didn't say anything. No warnings there, meaning so far it doesn't even sense that there's water. But I suspect this time around, we will have water now that it's been sitting for about an hour and 2 minutes, and we're gonna have to have someone go in there and grab it. Do I jump in? So that, okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay. So you can already see it's still on. This time around, we have a warning at the top. I'll show you shortly. But after 30 minutes, there were no warnings on the S9 Plus, the Tab S9 Plus. No warnings on the Tab S9 that I have here. The only warning that popped up is on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 Ultra, and I suspect because it's a thinner tablet. If you remember, Samsung actually did a lot of work to make it that thin, so it may be a little bit more, fragile. I don't want to say fragile because Jerry rigged everything. Actually, he tried to break the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 Plus. He tried the bend test and it failed. Right? Well, the tablet succeeded because he wasn't able to bend it, unlike it was the case with the iPads. So even though it's a thin, it passed the bend test, it looks like for the water resistance, it might be a bit more fragile than the other ones here. So what I want to do is show you, ladies and gentlemen, we are stopping our test here at about 1 hour and 3 minutes. As you can see there, it says that the moisture has been detected in your charger USB Type-C port. Make sure it's dry before charging your phone. I don't know why they kept that same message even for tablets, but this is where we stand. So I guess in summary, the IP rating on the Samsung Galaxy Tab S9 series is legit. So I'm here to confirm it. I typically tend to focus on these Samsung tablets, right? So, and I think so far I'm the only person doing these tests. So make sure to share the video. Make sure to like, of course. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Share the video. I'm hoping that this was informative. If you have any questions, make sure to put those in the comment section. We will get that back and forth going like we always do. I will catch you in that comment section like I typically do. I'm also going to catch you in the next video. Up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.